Hello dear students, today we are going to learn the poem 2.1 Animals. Now here you can see the board where I have written some qualities of human beings and some qualities of the animals. So human beings and animals. Here actually the poet is differentiating the qualities of the human beings and the animals, and he says that he is very happy to be with the animals. So what is the reason behind that? Why does he say so? Why he is saying this statement that he is happy to be with the animals? So let's go through this. Here I have written human beings not satisfied, they are not happy. Animals satisfied, they are very happy. Human beings, they are very greedy and the nature is very complex. Animals, very simple, they never cry. Human beings, arrogant, they are very mad about crazy about some things. Whereas the animals, they are very cool and calm. Next, crazy, as I already said. Crazy about the things. Now when we will give the examples, we'll come to know. Possessive, this is mine. That is the attitude which the human beings have. Whereas the animals, they never grumble. They don't grumble at all. Next, always complaining. Whining. The other word for complaining is whining. And here it is unconditional love. When they give the love in such a way that there is no comparison between them. Whereas the human beings, there are some restrictions, some limitations, not exactly restrictions what we say, but then they change. When they give love, it is according to their wants, their desires and their convenience. Whereas the animals, it is unconditional. Then trample. What is the meaning of trample? Trample means something which comes under your foot. But here the human beings, they do it purposely. Then very jealous. Next is, that is the good virtues. Virtues means all the good habits. And the animals are very, very loyal and faithful and carefree. That is happy-go-lucky, what we can say. Here the human beings upset due to any stupid, silly reason. Next is disgust. They are very disgusting, what we can say. They can do their behavior or with their talks, they can upset anyone. Whereas the animals, they don't do these things. So children, now let's go through this in detail. And next I will come with the poem. I'll read the poem and again the explanation will be done. Now here the qualities, human beings, they are not satisfied. For example, if I say, if you children are given food to eat, you come home from school, your mother has laid the table and she has prepared, poor thing, from morning she is preparing for you, and then she keeps you in front of you to have that lunch or breakfast or dinner, whatever it is. But there you may not like something and then you start complaining about that. But let me tell you children, there are many who at present are not getting even one-time meal. That's the reason why it is like the human beings are not satisfied. Their wants, their desires keep on increasing day by day. Means never satisfied and never happy with whatever we have, but always want more and more. अगर ऐसा होता तो कितना अच्छा होता, वैसा होता तो कितना अच्छा होता. जो है उसमें खुश नहीं है. This is the nature of the human beings. Next is very greedy. That again comes to this happiness and all. Not satisfied. Greedy why? मेरे पास टू व्हीलर है, फिर भी मुझे अब 4 व्हीलर चाहिए. अच्छा खासा 1 BHK फ्लैट है मेरे पास, but then I want a bungalow. This is what we call as greediness. I have enough of money. It's enough. But then still people keep on increasing their wants. That means a man's hunger is never satisfied. जो भी है हमें उससे और भी ज़्यादा चाहिए. And mad and crazy are the same things, children. Mad, crazy, ये मुझे चाहिए मतलब चाहिए, either by hook or by crook, कुछ भी हो जाए, कैसे भी हो, मुझे ये चाहिए मतलब चाहिए. जो जिद पे अड़े होते हैं ना, that is why it is arrogant. You know, you children also sometimes become very arrogant with your parents, saying मला हे पाहिजे म्हणजे पाहिजे, मला हाच ड्रेस पाहिजे, मला पार्टीमध्ये जायचं आहे, माझे सगळे मित्र चांगले कपडे घालून येणार आहे, तर मला हाच शूज पाहिजे, मला हाच वॉच पाहिजे. व्हॉट डज इट मीन? युअर ॲरोगंट बिहेवियर, युअर ग्रीडी, you are imitating the others, you are not satisfied with whatever you have, you are not happy, you are not contented with yourself, but then the greediness, the wants is going on increasing and increasing. Next is complaining. As I already told you, when the food is there in front of you, you start complaining. ये हाँ मला आवड़त नहीं, हे मला आवड़त नहीं, ये मुझे पसंद नहीं है, ये खाना मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता, ये सब्जी मुझे अच्छी नहीं लगती है. You know, then what happens? That itself is known as a complaining. The other word for complaining is whining. तो ये कौन करता है? ये हम इंसान करते हैं, according to the poet. Next is trample. As I said you, trample means पैरों के नीचे कुचल देना. And don't you think many of the children, many of the people, many of the businessmen, many of the people in and around the world, you know, they have this tendency. It is a very natural habit of the human being. हमसे आगे कोई जा रहा है तो उसको हमें पीछे कैसे खींचना है, किसको हमें नीचे दिखाना है. That is trampling somebody's dreams and moving ahead. That is known as jealousy. Many a times people are jealous about the others people's progress. जब कोई इंसान तरक्की करता है ना, तो वहाँ पे क्या आती है? वहाँ पे jealousy आ जाती है. Normal for your class, I can say, or you have come across, many a times it happens that the clever child, the child who has secured 90%, 80%, अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि teacher is giving the work to that person, to that boy. उस वक्त बाकी के लोग क्या करते हैं? They feel jealous and they come with what complaint, with what statement? हाँ, ये तो मिस का फेवरेट है, मिस पार्शल करती है, मिस इज डूइंग पार्शल विद हिम, मिस पार्शलिटी करती हैं. You know, I just think you all do these things, because we come across this in our day-to-day school life. This is how the children they behave. किसी के साथ अच्छा बात करते, किसी को ज़्यादा काम दिया तो भी प्रॉब्लम होता है. Because see children, everybody has an X factor in them and the teacher knows what work to give to whom. The question doesn't arise here of partiality. But still there are people who are jealous of these things. So this is an incident which I gave from the class to you students. But there are many things in and around us, in the business field, in the politics field, in the Bollywood field. You know, have understood the meaning of jealousy. That is what the poet is trying to tell you, that human beings have the tendency of being jealousy. And next is upset and disgusting. With our behavior, many a times we do upset the opposite person. So these are the different characteristics which the human beings they possess, and they are always trying to own things. That means they are very possessive about their own things. This is mine, that is mine, like that attitude the human beings have. Now very much opposite to the human beings is the qualities of the animals, and that is animals are always satisfied with whatever they have. They are very much content, that is self-content, and they never grumble about anything, they never complain about anything. They never go and complain to the others, nor they even go to the God or start praying to God saying that why this is happening to me and why like this and all, whereas the human nature is of that kind. And they are very simple, they never cry. Whatever situations come in front of them, they face them. Now all of a sudden it starts raining, then where does the animal go? The animal tries to find some shelter somewhere under the tree or anywhere in a parking area, but they never grumble or complain. What does it mean? That they accept whatever comes into their life. Next is they are always cool and calm. That means they never get angry as how the human beings. They don't grumble. And unconditional love, as I already told you, their love is very unconditional. Unconditional मतलब क्या? वहाँ पे कोई शर्तें नहीं होती है. There is nothing they put some you know what we say, शर्त जो हम बोलते हैं, that if then only, like these words the animals don't use, but whereas the animals they do use such words. अगर तूने मेरे लिए ये किया तो ही मैं तेरे notes complete करूँगा. That is what condition has come over there. But here with the animals, see the way they are very faithful, they are loyal, they are very honest with their masters. Especially the dog. We can take the example of a dog here. How faithful and how honest the dog is to its master. That means they show unconditional love to them. For example, suppose a cat came across in your parking, and from 2-3 days we are watching that cat, that it is staying here only because maybe it has lost someone near and dear one, or it has must lost the shelter. So what we do, even if one time we will go and give a plate of milk, a bowl of milk to it, see to it the way it reciprocates, the way it responds, the way it starts licking our hands, showing its love for us. That is very unconditional. And they possess the virtues. Virtues means what? The good habits. So these are all the good habits which the animals are possessing. And they are very carefree. Carefree attitude. कुछ लेना देना नहीं है किसी से. कौन मेरे बारे में क्या सोचता है? I'm not bothered. This is what the attitude the animals they have. That is why it is said that they are carefree. They are not bothered about these things. So the poet at the end he says that how come that they are having so many good habits and we don't possess any. We don't have any good habits over here. How is that? Many a times they must have crossed besides me. I must have gone along with them. But in spite of those having so many good habits, the virtues, how is that I don't have all those qualities? कहीं ऐसे तो नहीं कि ये सारी जो अच्छी आदतें थी वो हमसे पीछे कहीं छूट गई है. They have been left somewhere. So this is the explanation of the poem. Now what we will do is, I'll just read the poem simultaneously. We will try to understand more clearly. See, this poem is written by Walt Whitman. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. So here the poet is trying to say that I wish I could be with the animals. Why with the animals? Because they never upset anyone. They are always very clear and self-satisfied. I stand and look at them long and long. So he is just standing them and staring at them and observing them long and long. For hours and hours he is waiting there. He is standing at that one particular spot and keeping a watch on the animals. They do not sweat and whine. They do not sweat and whine means what? Sweat and whine are two different words but having the same meaning. The meaning is complain, and here the figure of speech is what? It is tautology. What is the definition of tautology? Tautology. Tautology, two different words having same meaning. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. See, we human beings, if we have done anything wrong, we don't get sleep the whole night. Because we keep on thinking whatever has happened with us or whatever we have done wrong with the others. Why? Because we are guilty that something has gone wrong and somewhere somebody has done wrong with us, and so we start complaining, awaking the whole night. Whereas with the animals, is this so? No, they are happy. The whole day whatever they want they have done, whatever they got they eat, and then they go to sleep without any complaints. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Do not make me sick means here irritate. The animals, they do not come to us, nor they kneel down in front of the God, join their hands and complain. Somebody has done something to me, why you have given me such kind of a life, everything, no sorts of complaints at all. Whereas the human beings on the other hand, they kneel down, they bow down in front of the God and they start complaining. That's the nature of the human beings. Whereas in the animals, you will not find this. No one is dissatisfied and not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one is dissatisfied. Now here he wants to tell us not a single animal is dissatisfied. That means all the animals on this planet, on this earth are very, very happy with whatever they are having or with whatever they are going through. Not one is demented. Here demented is mad. That means not crazy. See, no one needs the mania of owning things. Owning things means what? This is mine, that is mine, ये भी मेरा, वो भी मेरा, वो भी मेरा, मुझे किसी को नहीं देना है. I'm not going to share it with anyone. Human beings are crazy about these things. Whereas the animal, they are not at all crazy, they are not at all mad about these things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. We the human beings, immediately when something goes wrong, we just kneel down on anybody's like भाई मुझे माफ़ कर दो, मेरे से गलती हो गई, मैंने ये किया, मुझे ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. We kneel down and we bow down. पहले तो गलती कर दो और फिर माफ़ी मांगो. This is the tendency of the human beings. Whereas animals, you will never find this kind of attitude. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. So this is how they have shown what they are, and the poet says that I have accepted them with whatever qualities they are having. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince. Here evince means show. They have shown everything. What are they? What are the qualities they possess? Their good habits, their happiness, and everything that has been shown very, very clearly to the poet, and he is observing them standing there for hours and hours, them plainly in their position. I wonder where they get those tokens. That means I wonder, he is amazed, he is surprised, he is thinking, how come the animals are so carefree? How come the animals are so faithful? That they have unconditional love, they love each other, they are never complaining about anything, they do not grumble about anything, they are always satisfied with whatever they have. So, like from where all these qualities have come into them? Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Negligently means carelessly. So what he is telling, many times I must have crossed them wherever they were. कई बार मैंने रास्ते में उन्हें देखा होगा, पर ऐसा क्यों नहीं हुआ कि मैंने उनसे कुछ सीखा? How is that I have never learnt nothing from them? बहुत कुछ देखा, बहुत कुछ समझा, but शायद carelessly मैंने उन्हें कहीं पे drop कर दिया है. I must have dropped that good qualities. So yes, children, it's a fact that the human beings have dropped all their good qualities, and now what we see is that everywhere there are unwanted things going on, so everybody is trying to suppress each other. So that is the human qualities. And so he feels very sad about this thing, seeing the scenario all over, that how the human beings have turned into. So he says that that's the reason why he is trying to tell us that he wants to be with the animals and not be with the human beings. So I just hope, children, that you all have understood the concept. So what message do we get from here, children? That whatever qualities the animals are possessing, the same even we should have. We should also have that habit of helping others, and of course of being grateful to others who have helped us in times of need. And we must be faithful, whosoever is doing good to us. We must never break the trust of the others. And whatever love we show to the others, it should be unconditional, not conditional. It should be eternal. Moreover, we should be happy with whatever belongings we have. How the animals, whatever they have, they are satisfied. So the same way, whatever belongings we have, whatever things we possess, we should be happy with that. And we should not complain to the God, nor grumble and nor irritate the others by telling our problems and upsetting them. Of course, you can share your problems, but that doesn't mean the opposite person gets irritated by your behavior, by your attitude, by your nature. So you should be cool and calm as animals and see the change everywhere. So normally it is said that human beings do have brains, they have knowledge. And that is why we say, no, we are not animals to behave like this. We are not savages. We are not cruel human beings. We should not be cruel to others. Whereas we should be always helpful, loyal and loving and sincere in whatever work we are doing. We should be truthful to everyone. And suppose anybody is going ahead of us, just appreciate that, because it may be because of that person's hard work, he is successful. In a class it happens, a child who is getting 90% or 90 plus doesn't mean that you should be jealous of that child. In fact, you should appreciate that child. And why you should appreciate? Because it is the hard work, the efforts put in by that particular child that he has achieved a success, because he had some focus in his life. Whereas you were always involved in some other things, always keeping names and always trying to pull the other one. That is the human nature, what the poet is trying to tell you. So this is the poem, children, where we have to learn a lot from the animals. There are many things. It has been clearly told. The concept is very clear. I just hope you all have understood the poem, and I want you all to go through the poem again and again, go through the meanings, listen to the explanation carefully which I have told you now, go through the entire words what I have written over here, so that the concept is very clear to you. Thank you, children.